A simple idea has reduced the big power consumption.
We can turn off one of air compressor to operate the plant at 50% plant load. It is simple project but the big saving.
There was no impact on the supply balance between Yongin and Hwaseong plant. That was one of our goals. ASC means air separation unit. It is separate air based on difference in boiling point. We produce oxygen and nitrogen and argon.
Hwaseong site is supplying gas to the Samsung Electronics, which is the biggest customer of the South Korea, and supplying volume is 30% of total.
In recent 2 years, the gaseous nitrogen demand was decreased by 26,000 cubic meter per hour. So if the gas demand decreased, thermal produced 3 and 2 has to be vented out. So it means we had to raise some of power cost.
We had to turn down the plant, but there is a limit to turn down, so we decided to turn off one of the MAC during the winter time. When the winter is over, the air temperature rises and air volume increase, so the one MAC was no longer enough to get enough air flow. This was the problems. So we had to figure out how to get additional air. We had a simple idea to bring the airflow from the T900 plant located next to the T700 plant.
We wanted a small amount of additional airflow. We didn't want the affected T900 too much. We just wanted enough to maintain the purity of the T700 column. In March, when the winter ended and one MAC operation could no longer be sustained, we switched the two MAC operation. During this time, we installed the air tie-in piping from the T900 to the T700. And after completing the project in April, we were able to switch back to one MAC operation.
Among the plants in Hwaseong and Yongin site, only T700 at Hwaseong can have 2 air compressors, so if the customer demand decreases, we can turn off one of air compressor to operate the plant at 50% plant load.
The advantage of not running one of MAC while maintaining the same amount of product supply is savings. A simple idea has reduced the big power consumption, and this project helped to maintain the purity of the column during the summer. It is a good example of improving operational stability and productivity.
The monthly saving of this project is $0.5 million, and it means we can save 5,000 kilowatt power per hour. Since last year, November, we got 5 million saving from one MAC operation, and estimated annual saving is $6 million. I think it can be applied to any site which need operation mode optimization according to the customer demand change.
We can produce and supply the same amount of product without one of the air compressor. What this means is that the same amount of production with less power consumption.
We prepared the project for 3 months for designing, and the construction day was just only 2 days for T700 and T900. It is simple project but the big saving.